Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team here on the PC with Nissan. It's the halfway point of Season 1, it's round 13 and we are heading to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Alright, so we got quite a bit done at the end of the last stream in terms of part work. Let's just see what that's brought us. So you can see the chassis is now just 1 week away. We're 25 days away on the front wing. That got pushed back, but we'll still have plenty of time to get that built. We're now just under 2 weeks from the rear wing. So all three of these parts should be ready for the car when we come back from our mid-season break at Zandvoort. We will not have these on the car for Spa, which is our next race. That's tomorrow, but we will have them on Wednesday. We've got another suspension project going through. That's now just 3 days away from completing, and then you can see we're building some parts finally. So we have a suspension going through right now, same with the side pod. That'll be ready on race day. And then we also have another couple of front wings still going through, one of which will be ready on race day. So I'm not sure where that actually leaves us in terms of spare parts. I think everything is good apart from the chassis and the front wing. Yeah, so we're taking a little risk at the moment, but as I say, we do have another one coming for race day. So we can always be a little bit more adventurous, assuming we get through without any issues in qualifying. And then there's not much we can do about the chassis, unfortunately. So we are punishing Porsche still. He's on the older spec parts simply because of what he's done to my cars this season. Let's put practice bits in before we head to Hungary. And we'll go with that gearbox, I think. There we go. Evening Dino, evening Clark. Hello to everyone else lurking in the chat as well. So moving over to Teo, we're going to go with that engine. And then there are no more ERSs. I don't know if I have 2.5 mil. I don't. So he's going to have to put up with this ERS through the weekend. It won't let me use that one, unfortunately, even though we don't actually plan on technically using it at all over the weekend until race day. And then that gearbox, I suppose, they're both pretty bad. I can't even afford to buy another gearbox yet. When do we get some money from our sponsors? Oh, not long after Spa. Once we get through Spa, we'll then have a nice bit of cash there. We're going to get whatever we get out of funds-wise this weekend from here. And then we'll get a little bit of money on here for our tour centre. So that'll be another 90-something grand. I think it's about 96 grand. And then we'll get another 96 grand plus our sponsor money. And then we'll get another payment from the board here, which would be just over $1 million. So not a huge amount of money coming through, apart from potentially here. I can't remember exactly what it is that they're doing, but I think it's small mandatory appearance and then our usual amount on top. So I think it's somewhere around 6.5 to 7 mil, which we need, because that pays for at the very least the ERS, the gearbox, and a couple of other upgrades for our car as well, or all the parts for the new upgrades that are going through right now. So yeah, that money much needed. Just hopefully we don't destroy it. Don't destroy all of our bank balance before then. We will also get a little bit of money here as well after Spa, depending on how we do. Now that one could be tricky because we are slow in a straight line. We are very slow in a straight line. As you can see, our speed is quite quite a way off. How far off are we in terms of speed, actually? Let's take a look at Williams. They're a good benchmark for us, and we are 1.7 kilometers an hour slower, with quite a hefty down in the acceleration to Williams as well. And we're down 5% or 4.5% in the DRS. So let's see where they rank. And they're only ranked 15th. So, yeah, we are very slow at the moment. Very, very slow. We need these new parts. Absolutely do we need these new parts. Right, let's get some targets set for tonight. We're going to go 18th for both. And let's see how we do.
Welcome to the beautiful Three Springs Valley, here in Hungary. You're joining us in Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Budapest was formerly 3 cities, and today they're all coming together to kick off what we hope will be a thrilling weekend of racing.
It's Ferrari who are currently ahead in the constructors' standings. But there are still plenty of points up for grabs this season.
There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
All right, then, let's take a look, shall we? We've got very heavy rain on race day, which might be a blessing, might be a curse. Really too hard to say at this point. I think we're really going to struggle to overtake, but if we can qualify well, that might help. And then it's just playing it smart with the weather, I think. So let's go for a long run. It's normally 20 laps or so around here, so we're going to go 32 laps, so we get a nice good run. Pace settings as always. We've already done the car parts. There we go. And it's a very high downforce circuit, because it is a lot of, very twisty turns. So I'm going to start with a 10 on the front wing and a 15 on the rear wing. We're not quite at Monaco levels of downforce, but we're not far off. So, yeah, quite demanding. We're going to go with a 3.7. I'm going to drop that right down, and I'm going to drop that right down as well. Rear wing is looking pretty good, according to that. We'll mix it up slightly for Mick. So we'll go again with the 15, I think, on the rear wing. We'll go with a 9 on the front, though. Let's go 9.5. We will push this out a little bit further. We'll go to 2.8 on that. We'll leave that in the middle this time, and we'll drop that down just a little bit. Let's see how that shakes out. There may be a little bit of wiggle in the rear wing, but I guess we'll find out once they've run for a little while. And let's hit the track and see how we do.
Should be green now. Radio check.
Copy for radio check.
So we are risking faults, as you can see. There's very much a risk of our car's just not making it through this session.
Okay.
And there isn't really a lot I can do about that at the moment.
Copy.
Not if I want to preserve our good parts. Mick also is down a little bit on engine bits. Not quite as bad as Teo, but not in an ideal situation. Evening, Bill. Evening, Victor. Good to see you guys. Let's speed them up, shall we? So, Felipe Drugovich is in for Stroll. Pietro Fittipaldi is in for Hulkenberg. Victor Martin is in for Pierre Gasly. Freddie Vesti is in for Lewis Hamilton. Pato Award is back in for Oscar
I
Piastri.
think the tires were very cold.
And that is it for all the rookies today.
I'm not fully ready, okay?
And straight away, there is a problem with that McLaren. I'm not even going to click it and find out because it'll just be Crofties going, oh, looks like he's got a fault. That's my official Crofty impression. So it's it's going to be a replacement engine going in that car. Now Fittipaldi has one. And that'll be a replacement ERS going in there. Sonoda's got a fault. That's his engine. That's going to go into a new engine in the next session.
Rear's on cool side.
Up to 4 out of 5 on the feedback for both drivers. Let's see how they get on with the car.
Okay.
89% for Mick. That's not too bad.
Car was great. Felt really good.
Yep, copy, mate.
How do we do with Mr. Porsche? $90, so about the same.
How are you feeling?
Car part knowledge still needs to be maxed out. We're at 92% at the moment. Okay, so that's another fault on that McLaren. It had 2 faults, and they've both gone orange by
Tires
the look
are
of
on
it.
the cold side.
So, yeah, there we go. Gearbox is going to get swapped out after this session as well, then. So far, our cars are just about holding themselves together. And there we go. Into the garage we go. And we might just about see Teo coming down the road in a second. There he is.
Stop on the mark.
One of those 2 cars. I think he's the one in front. Yes, he is. The other one is a Red Bull. That's very much not our car. So let's have a look. Cornering needs to change. Now that could go up or down, I think, but I'm going to go. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down to about there, I think, and then pull this back to there. That gives me a small gap there, which is what we need. A decent sized gap there, which is what we need. That might need to go up a bit more, I'm not sure. And then a small gap there, which has not affected our straights. So I'm quite happy with those changes, assuming that they work. But I think that'll give us a pretty good picture. Evening, Farah. Now let's take a look over here and everything is just off by a little bit. So let's bring this up a bit. I've got to be careful I don't overdo it because I'm going to have to pull that back and I don't want to affect that too much. But we'll try that. And then let's bring this back this direction, I think. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, we'll try that. We can always switch it back to the other side. There we go. So, changes are booked in. Porsche has made it through a practice session without destroying the car, which is good. Although he still has plenty of time left across the weekend to disappoint me further. We're about 40% or so on our track knowledge. We're almost there now on our car part knowledge. And that looks pretty
Oh dear.
pretty serious.
What a miserable way to bow out of this one.
So yeah, that is a very terminal McLaren. It's still going. He's still going out there. The engine has gone. I don't know why they didn't call him in. Maybe they've made changes. They're waiting for some feedback and they're hoping that he can get that feedback just before it explodes completely. But that engine is going to go bang any moment. See if he decides to stay out another lap. No, they have called him in. So I'm amazed he didn't come in at the end of the last lap. He had time. Just do this boom. This thing pulls out the garage. There we go. So that is a very, very dead engine. We knew it was getting swapped out anyway, but now it can't be used for anything because it's completely died. Perez has popped out for a short little stint at the end. And the session is just about done. Okay, into the next session then. We will use the mediums. And let's see. How much fuel do I want to put in? Let's go with 28 laps of fuel. Do a quick inspection. Yeah, it's not looking great, but they're holding together just about. And again, just about. So let's send them out. Let's see if those changes that we've made have worked. Out goes Mick. You're going to test my knowledge again. I have now seen some Royal Kingdom ads. I was watching YouTube at like 4 in the morning a few days ago, and I got hit with 2
Copy.
Royal Kingdom ads with Amy Fowler. One with one of the late night hosts. It's not Kimmel. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. And there was another one, and I can't remember who the other one was. But I have now seen Royal Kingdom ads with the celebrities. I mean, I'd seen them before, just, you know, the cheap, low-budget adverts. I hadn't seen the ones with the celebrities. There we go. Nose is blown. Sinus is cleared. It's because the celebrities is cheesy. It's not just that. I mean, it's the dialogue. They are, you know, the dialogue that is written for them is terrible.
How is it feeling?
Really bad. It's always really bad in those
Very good
adverts.
in the car.
'Cause it's completely unrealistic conversation. We have some feedback, and we have gone backwards with Mick, and we've made a little bit of progress with Teo.
Okay, copy.
I've seen quite a couple of headlines about the movie. I haven't watched any, you know, reviews or read any reviews of it, but I have seen some headlines that saying that it's not that great. I didn't think it would be. I thought visually it would look pretty good, but it would also at the same time look unrealistic at the same time, because it's Hollywood. And I just, you know, I didn't think it would be very believable. But I mean, it can't be worse than Stallone's what was supposed to be an F1 movie and then became an IndyCar movie, I think. That was, oh, excuse me, that was awful. Absolutely awful. What are we doing? We're speeding time back up, aren't we? There we go. Right, they are coming into the garage this lap. I was going to call them in, and they're coming in anyway. Right, so where did we go wrong with Schumacher? Oh, okay, so we went the wrong way there, and we went the wrong way there. So we can fix both of those at the same time. That means that has to go out to a 1.9. So So we're looking at a change like that and like that. That needs to go back up to there. We're still looking good there. That could well be it. And we only gained a little bit with Teo. But what we have done is found out where that needs to be. And we're looking at something like that. I think that could be it. Oh, no, don't revert. There we go. I'm feeling pretty confident about those changes for both cars. So this circuit actually made the news a couple of days ago for some improvements to the facilities that have started or are almost finished. I only saw a headline. I didn't have time to read the whole article, but there are going to be some changes this season at this circuit, but it's mainly just going to be the facilities. I don't think they're making any changes to the track work. And they're just trying to bring everything else up to spec, so to speak. I mean, the circuit has been extended to 2032. I don't know why they gave it such a long contract. I mean, of all the tracks, I don't know why this one keeps getting huge extensions, because it never really produces exhilarating racing. It's only recently that we've actually started to get some overtaking back at this circuit. For season after season after season, these races were just processions. It was like Monaco, but a little bit quicker. I mean, it's still not great, but at least with DRS, cars can now get the overtakes down the main straight, but it's still almost impossible to get the overtakes anywhere else unless you take an extreme risk. All right. Car parts are still hanging on. It is going to be very wet, but I don't know how wet it's going to be and for how long. So I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to use soft tyres so that we still have a couple of sets of mediums in case it's only partially wet this race. When the rain does hit, it's going to hit hard, but we don't know how long that rain's going to be around for. So we'll just go for 20 laps. It should be all we'll need. We can always stretch them a few laps if we need to. But we're at 48%, so we're basically, by the time we're done with this, we should be at 100. By the time we get our feedback, unless we've made a massive mistake with the setup changes.
Should be green now.
Copy.
Yes, I know. Speaking of Jurassic World, I've actually started playing Jurassic World 2 on the PC. It's one of the games I got free early this year, I think, from Epic. And, you know, I mean, I've played and platinumed it years ago on the PlayStation. I've been waiting for them to do an all-in-one bundle with the DLC expansions like they did on the original version. But they haven't done that yet, and I don't know if they're going to at this point. So, I started playing it on the PC, and I've been enjoying it. And I might possibly do a series on the PC of Jurassic World 2. Even though Jurassic World Evolution 2, even though it's now many, many years late. Just simply because I had a lot of fun with the first one that I put on, you know, the first game that I put on the channel. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait for the new one. I'll definitely be getting Jurassic World 3. I just don't know whether I'm going to do it on the PC or the console. I haven't made my mind up on that yet. It will probably look better on the PC, but it will also probably be a lot more temperamental, at least in my experience of trying to get the visuals looking good and stable on Jurassic World Evolution 2, where I'm constantly, you know, trying to play about with different settings to figure out how to get nice visuals, but also a screen that doesn't tear itself into shreds every time I move the mouse. Been a challenge. I've got a kind of a happy medium where it shudders a little bit, but there's no massive tearing. All right, optimal. That's encouraging.
Traction was crazy.
97, we just missed it. What about with Teo? 97 again. Well, they're both into the garage. We're easily covered. We're not going to send them back out. But we might make changes, depending on how obvious they are. Okay, so that has to go that way. So... but by the same token, just doing that, oh, that's too much. So I think it has to be that. And then that's going to go back to there. And we'll try it and see if it works. We won't know until qualifying. But we're not going to make any further time on track. And then here, let's go that way. Back like that, and if it doesn't work, we should have enough coverage to make sure we're okay anyway. So now we just need to run out the clock. We've already seen a few cars have got some new parts, so let's take a quick look at who is running what this weekend. So Leclerc is okay. Sainz has got a weak gearbox, could be problematic. Piastri's looking like he's going to have a strong car this weekend. Norris is pretty good. Max might have some engine issues later, but it's going to be cool. That'll help. Perez will be fine, I think. Russell is going to have some gearbox issues at some point this weekend. He's already swapped out the ERS. Hamilton might have some ERS issues later. Ocon and Gasly will be fine. Albon may develop gearbox issues later in the Grand Prix. Same for Sargent. May see some issues with Magnussen's car. Engine and ERS looking a little risky. Hulkenberg will be fine. Ricciardo and Tsunoda should be okay. Tsunoda will be okay. Ricciardo should be. Bottas should be fine. Joe should be fine. Stroll should be fine. And Alonso, similar, but slightly worse on the battery. So, interesting. We'll see how we do. And with that, we are just about ready for qualifying.
Welcome everyone to qualifying. This should be a good one.
Qualifying consists of 3 periods, with the slowest drivers eliminated after each one. With the pressure mounting, who can secure a strong starting position for the race?
Karun, how do you think Logan Sargent's going to be feeling at the moment?
The main thing on my mind was their speed in practice. They just weren't that fast. But was that down to the driver, the car, the team experimenting? We don't know, and we'll just have to see how they fare in qualifying.
Stay with us as we see who can deliver on motorsport's biggest stage.
So, going to be a little cloudy and overcast for qualifying. That's fine. Still a little wary of all of that rain coming on race day. Let's put the good stuff into the car. When I say the good stuff, we'll put decent stuff in. We're not going to go with our best powertrain combination. We need another ERS for Nick. He's alright on gearboxes at the moment. That's the only ERS I've got. It's got to go through a couple more weekends yet as well. This one and next weekend. Right. There we go. Let's send them out, shall we?
Green, green. Work as much as you can on brakes and tires.
Copy, copy.
Focus especially front left and brakes.
Copy.
I am going to be experimenting with a new mod to replace this timing screen extension here, the extended UI. There is a new one out from a different modder that I am curious to try
This is a good position for it.
because it's collapsible, so I can pop it all the way up to the top and get rid of all of this. You know, so we just have the header at the top here, and then I can bring it back down when I want to. And that should also still have sector tie stuff and should work in a very similar way, but maybe just a little narrower as well.
Yeah.
So we'll get a little bit of screen real estate back.
Go, 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 go.
All right. So no one's coming out. So it's a clear track for both cars. Russell now exiting his garage. .27.7 for Teo. And a tenth quicker for Mick. Porsche fractionally quicker in the middle sector. It's going to be very close between these two. .115.7 across the line for Teo, and Mick does a 115.7 as well.
Very slow in.
Just 25 thousandths difference between the two. Going to be very, very much off the pace compared to everybody else, though, I think. So George is about to start flying lap. Let's keep an eye on him. And interestingly enough, George slower than Mick. Sargent has gone fractionally quicker than Mick in the opening sector.
Stop on the mark.
Leclerc goes massively quicker.
Copy, pit 3.
Pit limiter on.
And now there we're starting to see the speed. We're half a second up in the middle sector is George. How quick is Leclerc going to be in the middle? .25.6. Okay, across the line then for George Russell. It's a 115.6. He's less than half a tenth quicker than Porsche, and Sargent goes quickest. And now Leclerc goes across the line and obliterates everybody by over a second, but that's some pretty good pace out of Logan Sargent there. And Sainz is a second slower than his teammate. And this is the strange thing that, you know, Leclerc has been so quick at times this season and yet is trailing Sainz in the championship. Let's keep an eye on Oscar Piastri. He has got brand new engine in the car and a brand new gearbox. And his ERS is still pretty healthy. Or at least healthy enough. So he could have a very rapid car today. That is Sainz behind him on an in-lap. And if you heard it, that was a motorbike going past my window. So Yuki Tsunoda's popped up into second place, splitting the Ferraris. And we're quicker than Alonso. Actually, that might be Leclerc who's just boxed, actually, not Sainz. I think it might have been Leclerc. So, Piastri starts his flying lap. Let's see what kind of pace he's got. Oh, a little awkward there with the Alpine in turn 1. And it reflects in his opening sector. Might have lost a little bit of time there behind Alonso going up the chicane as well. I think he got okay exit out of 5 there. Middle sector looks okay. He's going to be in the upper regions here. And he gets a purple final sector. So Piastri's got some pace. He could have gone top if he'd had a completely clean run. Only behind by 58 thousandths. Let's prep for another run. Let's take a quick look at the track. Oh yeah, you can see the level of grip is starting to climb. It's going to really ramp up here.
Okay, mate. As much effort as you can to put these tires in temperature, please.
Copy.
And I'm not sure how we are where we are. Because we shouldn't have that kind of pace. I mean, we are still waiting on Norris, Verstappen, both Alpines, Albon, both the Haas cars to set the time, but quicker than Hamilton, quicker than Alonso and Stroll, although Stroll arguably has been held up somewhere, given how far off he is. Zhou might have been held up, but he's half a second behind Valtteri, and if that is the pace of the Saubers, that's the realistic kind of gap between the two that I would expect to see. We're quicker than Ocon. We're quicker than Magnussen. How do we have this kind of pace? I do not understand it.
Okay, let's go, let's go. And push.
I haven't changed any of the settings. I haven't changed any of the mods. We're still using the same mods that we have been using since the start of the season. I haven't even gone into the season, you know, the online database editor since the beginning of the season. So I don't understand why we are where we are. I'm not complaining, but I am not understanding how we are where we are. Maybe it's just down to our drivers in being in a pretty good mentality. I don't know. No improvement for Mick in the opening sector. Porsche finds a little bit though and gets himself into peak confidence. Mick's only down by a tenth on what he did in the opening sector, if that. Hasn't found an improvement in the middle sector though, and I think he's down. Is he down? Yeah, he must be down. He's yellow. But I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was a 26-1. I don't think it's going to be that far away from what he did last time. Porsche might yet find a little improvement.
Really slow in lap.
Nope, he didn't.
Copy.
Max has popped himself up to second. But we're still really well placed. Here comes Norris.
Copy, copy.
Let's see where he ends up. Albon must have been held up somewhere. Norris goes P5. Hulkenberg goes P6. Good lap from Hulkenberg. Is he getting some kind of drafting off the back of the McLaren, I wonder? But we're still very much through at the moment. Waiting on Gasly. Here he comes. Gasly is 7/10 away from safety at the moment. Stroll on an out lap. He needs to find an improvement. Currently sitting last. And we are going to slap on a new set of soft tyres.
Pit entry.
Try and go out as late as possible and just hope that we can get a clean run.
Stop pit position.
Because the track does look like it's really going to ramp up now in the next couple of minutes.
We will stop on the mark.
Tsunoda's improved his time. He's got closer. Leclerc just goes purple in the middle. Haas dives into the pits to get out of the way. And across the line for Leclerc. And he takes another 1.5 tenths. With a purple final sector. Right, let's check on Lance. Yeah, Lance is definitely getting out of the drop zone here. He's going to go quicker than we are. Sargent's currently in P8. It's such a short lap as well that, you know, again, this is going to come down to fine margins as to who goes through, who gets knocked out. And Stroll goes 11th, but he's only a 10th quicker than we are. Sainz is flying. And we're starting to see some movement from the rest of the grid now coming out of the pits. We're going to be going ourselves in about a minute. Sainz goes top. I'm now getting a little worried about potential traffic. Piastri goes second. Teo is going out behind Hulkenberg. And now we'll send out Mick.
Just watch your mirrors. So just work on tires here.
Copy.
Really hope Hulkenberg has another good lap, because if he has a really bad lap, it's game over for Porsche. We are starting to slip down the order, down to 13th and 14th. A couple of faster cars on their out lap, on their flying laps go through. This might actually give us a good working gap to Hulkenberg. We've still got a good gap back to Mick. And yes, we have got a decent gap now to Hulkenberg, so if he does have an average or a bad lap, it won't hurt us too badly. We're down to 14th and 15th as Porsche now starts to wind up.
Okay, let's go.
Into the final turn. And across the line to
Let's go.
start the
Nice
lap.
forward.
We are going to have a couple of slow cars in front. They're the two that went whizzing past us, a Williams and an Alpine. The Alpine stays out of the way, having moved over for Hulkenberg. And then stays out of the way there as well. Hopefully Mick got through without a hold-up. It's a 27.7, no improvement for Porsche in the opening sector. All for Mick either. And now he's got a Williams in front of him at turn 5. Hamilton pops up to 7th. We're now straddling the line. Porsche's in, Mick is out. It's a 26.3. Again, no improvement. Why are we not improving? On brand new tyres. The track's at its quickest. Did we just happen to pull out blindingly good first runs and we were never going to improve? It's looking that way. Yeah, no improvement for Porsche. Can Schumacher find anything in the final sector? No. We're out. 17th and 18th. What a disappointment. After that early promise, we just slowly trickled down the order. And both cars are out. Now it's a question if anyone's going to improve over us. Gasly is having a look here. Gasly does not improve. He will stay last. Zhou is on an in-lap. Magnussen is done, so that's it. We will start 17th and 18th in qualifying. It's not a great starting position. And now I think it's all going to come down to tyre strategy and how we react to any potential changes in the weather. Let's see who sticks it on pole. Charles Leclerc with Sainz alongside. So the Ferraris, very, very quick throughout the weekend, have locked off the front row. McLaren have locked off the second row. Then it's Max from Tsunoda, Russell from Ricciardo, Perez down in 9th, Alonso is 10th. Then it's Hamilton 11th, Stroll 12th, Hulkenberg 13th, Valtteri 14th, 15th for Ocon, and 16th for Logan Sargent. All right, let's get prepped for the race weekend, shall we?
There's a fantastic atmosphere here at the Hungaroring today as we prepare for 70 laps of thrilling F1 action.
The heart may be in Budapest, but the racing soul is right here. Decades of F1 history saturate every turn of the Hungaroring, including the 1989 Grand Prix, where Nigel Mansell bullied his way from a P12 start to an ultimate victory.
What on paper could be a low-speed circuit is turned flat out by modern Formula One cars. The Hungaroring's short lap means track position is essential in qualifying, and drivers will need to be careful of track limits throughout the race. Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
So it does look as though we are starting dry. Let's take a quick look at the grid, see if there are any penalties that need to be applied. Doesn't look like it. So, let's see then. It's not going to be dry for very long. it would seem. So Mick thinks it's going to go dry, or go wet, sorry, on lap 13. Teo, lap 12. So pretty consistent. And then we're looking around about lap 37 and lap 38. So they're both expecting changes to happen around about the same time. So we can rely on our drivers to be pretty accurate with those predictions. I think it might be quicker to start on a set of softs. Let me go back to that so we can do a direct comparison. That's exactly the same, isn't it? There's no difference in lap time, but I'd rather go on the softs. Still ranting about Royal Kingdom. Yeah, we're just going to play it by ear. I don't think, looking at this, where do we need there? I'm not sure whether this is actually going to be full wet territory or not. And if it is, I don't think it's going to be full wet for very long. I think it might peak and then fall away quicker than that. We will look like we will have a period potentially of full wets at the end, but we're going to play it by ear. So we'll start like this for both. And see what happens. I'm going to put no extra fuel in. We are going to push the fuel and the tyres off the line. And we're going to push the battery as well. We're going to push everything off the line. I'm not going to go full push on the tyres. But we'll see how we do. You can see we actually got that up to 100% on Porsche setup mix. We'll break more things than it will fix, so we'll just leave Mick as he is. And let's send them to the grid for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Well, it's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action. A lot of people will be keen to see just how Zhou Guanyu will fare today.
Starting in 20th, the points are a long way off. Can they get a good start here and push for a respectable finish?
Right, let's get to it then. This is it, the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Strong start from Leclerc. Piastri has jumped through into second place. Can he hold it? Can he hold it? Hamilton and Alonso are twitching like crazy. Mick is down to 19th. Porsche has gained a place. He's up to 16th, so 1 up, 1 down. And Tony has not yet changed his name. How you doing, Tony? Oh, we have a yellow flag. It's Perez. There he is. I saw a puff of smoke.
So let's take a look at the replay. Now this is Sergio Perez. Well, things are okay at this stage. The brakes couldn't cope. Just unable to control the car by that point.
Good job, mate.
So that drops Perez to the back of the grid.
Yeah.
And that is the first lap done. Porsche is just about hanging on to Valtteri. I'm going to put Mick into a slightly more defensive posture
Gap
on this lap.
05.
Who's won the most here? This one I do actually know for both components. It's Lewis, and he's done it 8 times. And for a bonus point, I can tell you that he's also won it 3 times in a row for his last 3 races as well. So his last 3 wins here, he did it 3 times in a row. Teo is dropping back, so let's just
Don't go crazy in the rears.
calm the car down a little bit.
Copy.
It's so nice to see the DRS open. I don't know if it has ever been anywhere else as an official race. Oh, we've got a VSC. What did I miss while I was looking at the comments? Oh, Magnussen's out. Oh yeah, that's a big hit.
And you can just feel the frustration from the team watching.
So let's save a little bit where we can while we're under VSC conditions, so we can go back on the attack again. Now, as far as I know, this is the only circuit that's ever been used in the official championship calendar. I don't know if it's ever been anywhere else.
The car is on the wall. He looks okay. Just watch out, okay? Gap 1.4.
Copy. Copy.
Yes. The thing with the roll-ups is that they go out so quickly. Alright, still under VSC conditions. And rain is coming. It's going to be damp in 6 minutes, so we're going to go full attack on these tyres as soon as we go green. fact, I'm going to go full attack now. Make sure that they're still at temperature.
Come on, let's go get him.
Oh, and there we go.
VSC ending.
Copy. Copy.
And DRS enabled.
Nine different constructors of one. Can I name all of them? But you will accept only 8. McLaren, Williams, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Renault. I think Renault might have won here. I'm not sure about Renault. BAR. Or no, they were Honda by that point, weren't they? I can't remember. It was 2006, because that was Button's first ever win.
ISM and pressure is looking good.
Copy.
How many have I said so far? McLaren, Williams, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, BAR. That's 6. There is the rain.
Copy.
Oh, so Renault have one here as well as a team. Okay, so that's 7 then. Because I never said Renault. I have to think about this one for a second. Schumacher won here, I think, in a Benetton, if that counts. It's still technically the same team, they just had a different name, but it was... Oh, actually, no, that was before Renault even got involved, wasn't it? Because I think Benetton were running Ford engines. So, yeah, we'll go Benetton. Ocon won here a couple of years ago in an Alpine. I don't know if that's going to count because it's technically Renault but rebranded as Alpine. So we'll try that one as well. Is that 9? We're at 7. I said Benetton and then Alpine. So that's 9 different constructors. Is that the 9? Or is the Alpine Renault link a bit too tenuous?
Copy. Copy.
Alright, Mick might have a chance here with the DRS, but no battery left. Oh, so Alpine is actually counted as a separate constructor. Okay.
Copy.
I knew Benetton would be okay because that was before Renault bought Benetton. They were still powering Williams in '94.
How about
Good. It's okay.
And we're just struggling in the dirty air. This is going to come down to stopping at the right time, which could be at the end of this lap. I'm going to take the gamble and go the end of this lap for Mick, I think.
we both now?
Copy.
We'll go one more lap with Teo.
Copy.
But it's gonna suddenly just the heavens are gonna open any minute.
You ready?
Okay.
We're not the only ones who've had this idea. Sergeant is in as well. It's not an amazingly good stop there for Williams. And there we go. The heavens are opening. 2.6 seconds. That was a better stop than Sergeant's was. And you can see we are out behind him.
Copy, box.
Gap 1.5 behind.
So we may have a chance with Mick to maybe jump somebody here.
There's a good thing.
Copy.
Everyone's piling into the pits this lap. Stroll is going to have to stack. In comes Teo.
Copy, copy.
And there we go. That is full wet conditions now. Full into conditions, as I should say. How badly we're going to get held up here. Oh, it's a little iffy getting the tyre off. And now we're getting held and held and held and held and held. Come on.
Sorry for that.
And who's that having an issue in the pits?
Who's that getting screwed in the pits? It's Teo Porsche. It's Teo Porsche. So he's ended up dropping behind Mick. Well, Schumacher's won 4. One of them was that Benetton win in '94 that I was referencing earlier. As for who's won 3, I'm going to have to think about that one. There's a couple of contenders.
Pressures on temps looking okay.
Copy.
I don't think it's Alonso. I think Alonso has only got the one win around here. I'm thinking, you know, drivers like Hill, Hakkinen, Senna.
Try to save a bit rear here.
I think Max has only won twice. I think Hakkinen only won twice. I don't know if Kimi's actually ever won here. I'm gonna say Senna, but I don't know. I can only think of 2 wins for Senna. He might have got a third. So So we're down in 18th and 19th. We need both cars to be in the top 18. Magnussen being out helps with that, but we're kind of stuck because of the dirty air effect. So I'm actually going to ease off on the fuel for now, just to keep the engine temps under control.
Okay, copy.
We have got a little spike. Oh, 88. I wasn't sure about 88. I know that was his big breakout year, championship-wise. I knew about 91 and 92, but I wasn't sure about 88. Yeah, we're just going to get a little spike into the full wet weather tyres here. I think we're going to be running inters until maybe around lap 50, 55. I don't think we're going to need to change the full wets for that later spike that's showing in the middle of the Grand Prix. I don't think it'll be big enough or long enough to justify switching tyres. So we'll see. Last one because you want to watch the wet race. What that was the last one? You got one more question coming.
Yeah, copy.
One more question, okay?
Copy, copy.
Head down now, try to get a good pace.
This will be easy, but one or two may catch me out. Okay. I'm curious. Oh, hang on. My TV's about to turn itself off. There we go. I need to go into my settings and turn the timer off on that thing. The main screen's fine, but my my older TV, which is my second screen, which has got OBS on it, when that if I don't catch that in time and it shuts itself off, it then becomes a real ball ache for just using one screen when it's trying to split the feed, and it keeps zooming everything in and out, and yeah, it gets messy. You're going to list a country and the amount of different winners you want. All of them, not just one. Oh, God. You're an arsehole. All right.
Copy.
Four British winners. Hill, Button, Hamilton, and Mansell. Interesting little side note. This was, I think, Hamilton's, not Hamilton, I think this was Hill's first win, if memory serves. trying to keep the temperature in the tyres, which is why we're pushing them, because it is very much too wet for them at the moment, but it won't be for much longer. If you take a look at the track details, you can see it's going to be damp again in a couple of minutes.
Copy.
Germany, 2 winners. Schumacher and Vettel. I'm correct. Wunderbar. Brazil, 3 winners. 2 of them I can name straight away. That's going to be Nelson Piquet and Ed Senna. The other one is a toss-up. I don't think Massa won here, so I'm going to have to opt for Rubens when he was at Ferrari, because I don't think Massa ever got a win here. Yeah, I grew up watching this circuit. Ever since I was a kid, this circuit's been part of the calendar. One winner from Canada, that has to be Villeneuve. Actually had a 21 place grid penalty in your Vegas race. Oof. That'd be engine parts, I'm guessing. Yeah, we are just not making any headway at the moment. I'm going to ease the tyres down.
Cool down. Cool down.
3 finish winners.
Copy.
I know one of them's Hakkinen. Going to go a little left field on this one. I think it might have been his only win in F1. I'm not sure if he got more than one, but Heikki Kovalainen. And then I'm going to play it safe and say Kimi. $8 million on new parts. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, Piastri, that's a big crash, but Porsche is going to cost me more money than that. Porsche smashed up 2 cars in one weekend. One Dutch winner. That's Max. I had to think about that for a second. It's like, who's Dutch in Formula One? It's like, oh, Max, obviously. It threw me for a second. Spain, one winner. This is the country I was dreading because I don't know if it's Sainz or Alonso. I'm trying to think back if Sainz has won around here in recent years. If he hasn't, he's never going to have won here. I can't think of him winning in the last few years. It was Oscar last year and Max for a couple of seasons. We had that shock win for Alpine with Ocon, then we had the Hamilton years. So I don't think there's been time for Sainz to have win it in a competitive car. So it's going to have to be Alonso. But I couldn't tell you what year. Or what team, for that matter. I don't know if he would have done that with Renault or if he would have done it with Ferrari. 2003. Oh wow, that early. I would not have thought it would have been that early. I would have thought it would have been at his time at Ferrari if I had to guess. Alright, we are running a risk of a fault in Pourchaire's car on the ERS caused by overheating in the engine, curbs and condition. Got to be careful on that, but there's not really a lot we can do. Just have to calm the engine down that way a little bit. 3 Australians.
Copy.
Given the time period we're working in, mid-80s through till today, there's only 3 I can think of. We've already said Piastri because he won it last year. So that means it's got to be Webber and Ricciardo. One French winner. Ocon. In the pandemic era.
Copy.
Oh, yellow flag, yellow flag. It's a brief one. A little lock-up for
Now
George.
look, here we head into turn 2. And the car just locks. Now they did leave it very late.
Cost him 1 place. And maybe a couple of percent on his tyres. Belgium. Belgium. It's not Stoffel. Gonna need to think about this one. This is a gamble. I think we might be veering more towards that strategy, but there is the potential for this one as well. What would my tyres look like if I tried to push all the way through to the end? That'd be a bit risky.
Try to go faster.
One Belgian winner. It's not in the last 20-something years. Don't even think it was in the 90s. So that means it has to be in the 80s. So I think I know. I think I know it. Thierry Boutsen. I think he was Belgian. Behind Charles Leclerc, and I've only done 23 laps. I'm absolutely getting lapped in this Grand Prix, which means I'm going to have spare fuel to burn off, but being stuck in dirty air means we are going to overheat our engines if we're not careful. Gasly is creeping around the back of us. Perez can't find a way through. He's trying, desperately trying. Was I right, Farah? If I'm not right, I have no idea who it could be. He's my Hail Mary guess. About to get a little spike into the wet weather. I'm curious to see how far into wets it goes and if anyone else stops. Going to up the tyre pace just in case anyone does think about stopping. Big gap opened up between Norris and Sonoda. But, he's comfortably ahead of Ricciardo. Hulkenberg's on for a point. That's a point for Haas. Haas don't have any points yet, so I'm okay with Hulkenberg finishing in 10th, as long as it doesn't go any higher. And we have a yellow flag. We have a VSC. Ooh, now that makes things interesting.
VSC.
Zhou's out. What happened to Zhou?
So follow down the time.
Another turn 5 crash. Pretty much identical. Yeah, pretty much identical to Magnussen.
Loading.
Any last words from Zhou?
I can't believe it.
Got to keep the fuel burn on because I'm going to have too much fuel if I try and save it. It's going to be hard to burn it off.
It's a big crash.
But the question now is, do I take this opportunity and gamble with the full wets? We're still 6 minutes away, so that's too long. And then it's going to moderate rain after the heavy rain. I don't know how wet that's going to be. I'm really not sure what to do here. Is that going to be enough water? I mean, I could take the mentality of it's worth a punt. But at the same time, we need to finish 17th and 18th. Or better. And given our complete lack of pace, the last thing I want to do is throw myself into a point where I'm going to start getting blue flagged into oblivion and lose a whole load of ground on the rest of the grid. Here comes the big water, potentially. I don't know if I'm going to have enough pace to really take advantage of fresh tyres at this point. 2 kilos over fuel.
PSE ending.
Copy.
I think we need to start getting a little bit quicker.
And now the chance to box under a VSC is gone, and Snowder's in. Now, what times is he going for? If he's going for full wets, he's potentially going a little early. Ricardo's just developed a fault.
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of
Oh, shut up,
fault.
Crofty. Is this for full wets? That water is shooting up. It is full wets. Yuki's taking the gamble. Is anyone else going to take the gamble? It's looking like it's going to be a sustained period of wet weather. So let's hammer the tyres
We are much faster than him. Come on.
and box at the end of this lap.
Copy.
Box.
And we're going to need to stack them and hope.
Box.
Copy. Box.
I will cancel these stops if I don't think it's going to be the right time, but
Copy.
I'm trusting in the track details forecast here that it is going to be a sustained period of wet weather. And now the leaders are boxing, and this has to, yeah, full wets for those two. So I think we absolutely have to box. Trying to open the gap up between them.
Remember, we need the tires for long.
Copy that.
Just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to gamble with going one more lap with Teo, I think.
Box.
Copy. Box.
Trying to get him.
Copy. Penetrate.
So a couple of other cars have stayed out.
Copy.
Let's see what Piastri, Sainz and Norris do. This way I'm splitting my strategy by a lap, so it gives me a moment of flexibility. Piastri's in. 2.48, that's a decent stop. Sainz and Norris are both in, so I think stopping is definitely the right call. It's a little unfortunate that Teo is now going to have to do a lap where the tyres aren't great, but Gasly and Perez haven't stopped yet. Sargent hasn't stopped, although he's still a fair few seconds ahead of us. Albon hasn't stopped, Ocon hasn't stopped, Hulkenberg hasn't stopped. Leclerc is back through into the lead. Who's going to come out in second? It's going to be Piastri. Max gets ahead of Sainz. So Max has got himself onto the podium. And I don't think this is going to be a long enough period for these tyres to be a worry in terms of wear. So we are just going to thrash these tyres. All right, Teo's into the pits.
Copy.
Ocon and Albon has stayed out again.
Yeah, copy.
Porsche is out in 18th. Mick has gained a place. Mick's up to 16th. So we actually jumped Logan Sargent. We went from being close to a couple of seconds ahead. Porsche has gained about half a second as well. I didn't actually see what his stop time was. Let's take a look, shall we? So,
Copy.
not good. 2.8.
Tires are okay.
And we're in the top 10 just with Schumacher. But we've now got clear air as Albon finally comes into the pits. Ocon has stayed out again. He obviously doesn't think it's going to be wet enough to justify the switch. But he's the only one. And yeah, this radar is certainly looking a lot more aggressive with the weather than it was a few minutes ago. And this is going to cost Albon a couple of places by staying out longer than he did. He's now going to come out in 15th. And Mick has closed the gap down as a result. Porsche is still closing in on the back of Logan Sargent.
Temperatures are coming good.
Copy, copy.
Still showing full wet conditions for a while. The knock-on is finally in. And how much is this going to cost him? If he has a bad stop. He's having a bad stop. It's not quite bad enough. I thought there was a chance that he might drop towards Mick. He might drop behind Albon here on the exit. It's going to be tight. There goes Albon. And we're just 3 seconds behind him. There we are. Just saw a little flash of us in the background there. And Porsche is now on the back of Logan Sargent. Drop the tyres down just because I don't want them to melt.
Copy, copy.
Cool down. Cool down.
Copy.
We're starting to lose some ground to Sargent, so we need to respond and try and get that gap back, get past him as quickly as we can. Trouble is, we know that Williams has got a good mile and a half or kilometre and a half an hour speed advantage over us, and it's got a good acceleration advantage over us as well. It's going to be very hard to get past Logan Sargent. We can get onto the back of him, and then I don't know. I don't know if we'll actually be able to get past him or not. We're out of battery, so let's calm the tyres down a little bit.
Okay.
And there we go. We're looking at going back to Inters in about 10 minutes. So if we can time that right, we could maybe jump a couple of cars in the pits again.
Copy. Copy.
Actually lost a second to Ocon on that lap since we slowed the tyre push down. I just want to get the temperatures back down into a healthy window before I start pushing them again. Need to wait a few more minutes before we can truly confirm that it is definitely going to be a switch to Inters, according to the weather forecast anyway. And there we go. Tyre temps are starting to normalise on Mick.
Head down now.
They're coming down on
To get a
Teo.
good pace.
Give him another few corners, getting down to just below 80. And the wetter the track, the easier it will be to maintain tyre temperature at a healthy level as well. We're up to 5 mil now. We're looking at 8 minutes until we go back to Inters, and it looks like it's just going to be a sustained inter period of at least 10 laps. And then it becomes a question, what happens to all these wet runners? Do they stay out or do they box with us? Mixed tyres are actually still falling, so we're going to push them full push.
Big push now.
Copy.
Same with Teo. Now they're above 5 mil. If we run them in normal pace setting, they'll actually drop out of the temperature window. They'll be too cold. So let's see if we can close up. We need a thumbnail as well. Oh God, I'm just seeing how close Leclerc is. Yeah, we're going to get blue flagged very, very soon. And once that starts, it's just going to be a chain reaction. It'll drop us into Piastri and then into Max and Sainz and Norris. Then we'll be good because we won't have any blue flags for a while, but There we go. So unless something really, really dramatic happens, one of those will be our thumbnails. Well, our pace has picked up again. And is the track water starting to drop? Yes, it is. 5 minutes. Now, my feeling is that we're not going to see much movement from the rest of the grid until it gets to below 3 mil. We might see a few box, but I think the majority will probably stay out until it hits at, less than 3 mil. They might even try and go through to the next full wet period.
Just focus on yourself now.
Leclerc is right behind Perez. He's going to be lapping him any moment. We are 1 minute and 27 seconds behind Charles Leclerc with Teo. And we are now lapping quicker. We have another set of new wet tyres, so we are just going to hammer these now that we know that we're coming off them. Because if it does go to full wets, we've got another brand new set waiting for us. And I don't know if we'll be able to get an overtake done, but the main aim, with Mick at least, is just to get as close to the cars in front as possible so that when we make the switch to inters, we can hopefully undercut them if they decide they want to box at any point after we have. Ideally, I would love to get Teo through, but I just don't know if I have enough battery to do it. I've kind of hit a brick wall of pace stuck behind him, and it's so hard to get past in these conditions with the realistic racing mod. Mick, as you can see, is taking 0.8 of a second out of Ocon, but when we get right up to the back of him, that's probably as far as we're going to go. And we just can't get on terms with Sargent. Because the one area where we need to be strong to get the overtake clean is the one area where we are ridiculously weak against the Williams, and that's the main straight. There aren't many other overtaking opportunities on this circuit, unfortunately. Are you back yet, Farah? I did give an answer. I went for Thierry Boutsen. I had to think about it for a while. Narrowed it down to someone in the 80s, and that was the only driver I could think of.
Focus.
Oh, 1990. Oh, wow. I would not have picked 1990. I would have thought it would have been mid-80s. Right, so I think we're starting to suffer a little bit by overheating the tyres so much. I'm just going to ease them down a touch. We actually lost half a second to Ocon on that lap. There is Charles Leclerc. He's already dispatched Perez. Perez is now having exactly that knock-on effect. Look, he's been knocked back behind all of them. He got knocked back into Piastri and Verstappen and Sainz and Norris, and he's now way behind that group. And this is what's going to happen to us in a second. That's why I was kind of hoping we could avoid it.
Don't worry about that now.
I am going to box earlier than I need to if it will avoid me getting hammered with blue flags. I think we can get away with getting lapped by Leclerc, but we've got to be really careful because there's a big group of fast cars right behind him. And we will lose so much time having to pull over for everybody, as is completely evident by where Perez sits now. He was only a few seconds behind us, and now he's nowhere.
Come on, mate.
It's still a little too early. Piastri isn't that far behind.
Just do your best.
All right, there we go. That's shaping to throw, to pull over and let Leclerc through. Ah, damn it. Come on. He won 3 races in total between 1989 and 1990. Which constructor? It's got to be it's got to be Williams, because Mansell was at Ferrari at that time. Oh god damn it! I'm gonna get hit with everyone.
Come on.
Oh no! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
Box,
Exactly what I didn't want to happen. Look how much time I'm losing. God damn!
Copy, copy.
Big push now.
Copy.
Box this lap.
Copy, box. Cut entry. Copy. Pit lane. Okay, copy, copy.
I am slightly early into the pits, but I'm just trying to avoid the blue flags for Mick. That's not a great stop, 2.8. We've had a 2.4, which
Watch
is
out,
only
wide line
just
pit entry.
on the leaderboard. We're going to come out behind Perez, but ahead of Gasly. It's not a great stop for Porsche either, 2.78. And the track's
Lap
getting
1.6.
worse. No. That's not fair.
Copy.
Easy, mate, easy.
Is that Tsunoda behind me?
Copy.
I think it is, yeah. Can I stay ahead of Tsunoda? I think the answer is probably no. Oh my god, it's going back up. Why is the track water level going back up? I'm on the wrong tyre at the moment. Not by a lot, but enough. But at least I got Mick out without having to go through all of those blue flags. Oh, still is going back up. Come on. God damn it. Right, I am going to go grab a drink. Hopefully nothing disastrous happens while I'm away from my keyboard for 2 seconds.
Them's not too bad, actually.
Copy.
Focus ahead, come on.
Alright, I heard swearing, or as I came back on, and I've noticed that we are behind Gasly. Did we make a mistake, or is that just a lack of pace that's done that?
The tires are now in the window, come on.
Copy.
It's still getting worse. It's 4.06. Ah. I think it was just pace. I'm looking at the pace of Perez. Oh, God, this is all going wrong. 135. Oh, that's slow. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Finally, the track is starting to come to us.
Let's go, come on. Eyes forward, come on.
There we go. I even had battle assist on as well. That's the annoying thing. Just not enough grip on the inters above 4 mil. Right. We're still not in the best situation. Probably won't be for another couple of laps. Those wets will still be performing pretty strongly, and these inters are struggling with this much water on the track still. But we're around the crossover point. Gap is across the line. 3.5 seconds. And the water's 3.7. Let's see how it changes over this lap. It is going to fall, and then it's going to spike again. Damn it, this was supposed to be a much longer period of inters. So with that in mind, I think we have to push the tyres.
Head down now, try to get a good pace.
I can see us struggling to get both cars, or either car, into the top 18 at this rate. I need the track water level to really plummet for this gamble to pay off. I need it to drop down to about 2.5 mil. Otherwise, I've made a massive mistake by boxing. Gap's starting to come down ever so slightly, but pace still isn't there yet. There we go. We're on terms with Gasly now in terms of pace. What's Ricciardo doing? Ricciardo's gaining on that's about half a second a lap. We need to pull away from him on this lap, so I'm going to have to hit the battery. I was hoping to save it until we got closer, but
Yeah, copy.
cannot get blue flagged again. It's not drying up fast enough. Ricciardo's still closing in on me. He did a 129 last lap. Jesus. I'm going to get blue flagged. I'm going to get blue flagged. I can just feel it.
Close the gap.
Come on, let's push.
Copy.
129.4. Ricciardo did a 129.3. We're just about matching him. We took half a second out of Gasly. But this is me at full attack now. And I'm barely staying ahead of Ricciardo. I need it to get lower than this. I need sub 3 mil conditions minimum. I mean, look at that, 12 minutes and it goes wet again. This gamble has not paid off. Ah, damn it. .129.0, so Ricciardo still took half a second out of me last lap. Oh no, wait, this is Tsunoda I'm looking at behind us. Tsunoda did 128.7.
No looking in the
Ricciardo's
mirror,
behind
only ahead.
Porsche. And we are just about hanging ahead of Porsche, but hanging ahead of Ricciardo with him, but again, he's in danger of getting blue flagged. I'm out of battery.
Copy. Copy.
Let's give Teo whatever we've got left with him. 2.9 mil. Now we should start to see some pace. There's here, 127.8. We were we were a second quicker than Yuki on that lap. I'm not infallible. No. I've made mistakes before. You've seen me make mistakes in this game with strategy calls. It's usually in conditions like this when it keeps chopping and changing between the tyres. This is where I struggle sometimes.
Gap 09, 09. Come on, eyes forward, come on.
But now I have to absolutely shred these tyres. I need to go very aggressive on the overtakes for this as well.
Copy.
You know what to do.
It's the corners where we're going to make the difference. Russell has a fault, and so does Ricciardo.
Downshift 7 to 604.
So gearbox issues popping up for Russell. What's going on with Ricciardo? Engine issues. All right, we should hopefully get him under braking here.
Come on, keep it up.
Yes, we do, because we've got so much more grip. And now we should be able to fly away from Gasly. We're at that 2.6, which is the number I was looking for, but I don't know how long it's going to stay in those kind of conditions for us.
Copy.
And this is what I wanted to see. This is what's going to save us, is that everyone else's tyres are starting to overheat massively. Nice little bit of extra confidence in Mick at just the right time as well. Got 8 minutes till it goes back to full wets, but it doesn't need to go all the way up to full wets for these tyres to not be as effective, and it's already starting to creep again, I think. Or did that just drop down to that? Yeah, it's starting to creep back up. I took 2.5 seconds out of Checo on that lap. And look at the rate that their tyres are falling off. Perez's tyres are down to 42, Sargent's at 44. This is why I was trying to save the battery until we hit these kind of conditions so that we could really just fly past these guys. Porsche has almost caught Gasly. He's now just 3.5 seconds behind. Gasly has been lapped by Tsunoda. Sargent's into the pits now. What tyres is he going to throw on? Is he going to go for another set of wet tyres, or is he going to go for a set of inters? I hope he goes inters. Actually, no, tell I hope he goes another full set full wets, because he's going to ruin them at the start of the stint, and that's what he's done. But he won't need to change tyres in a few laps like we will. But these tyres are going to take a massive hit over the next couple of laps. Perez is now down to 34% on his tyres, and we are right there with him. You can see just how much grip we have in the corners. Stroll is in for a new set of tyres. They are probably going to be a new set of wets. It's starting to creep back up. It's up to 2.7 mil. This will be an easy overtake.
Come on.
Perez's tyres are now in puncture territory.
That's it. Good job. Come on.
Perez has stayed out, I think. He has. Oh, Perez really could puncture here. Those tyres are going to be on fire. 120 degrees. Woof. I mean, we are melting our tyres, but, I mean, ouch. That is hot. Porsche is through on Pierre Gasly. Excellent stuff. Now he can go chasing after Perez. He's not going to catch him this lap, but Perez is going to be in the pits very soon. And who knows, we might catch him. We're going to hang with Perez just in case he does puncture before he gets to the pit lane. Surely he's going to box at the end of this lap. It's the temperatures are flying back up. Look, well, sorry, the water level's starting to fly back up. We've got one more lap on these tyres before we need to box, I think. maybe 2. Valtteri's in, Sainz is in for a new set. See, now we're into a point where these guys can get away with stopping and not lose too much. Perez is in. I need a hell of a lap for me now, Teo, to try and get an overcut on Perez. That's going to be a really hard thing to do. Schumacher took another 3 seconds out of Ocon. I mean, I think I've caught up to the back of Sainz. I have. Sainz is doing 129.5s. I'm doing 127.8s. But we're going to be boxing at the end of this lap for a new set of wets.
Box, 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 box.
Copy for box.
We're gonna box.
Okay, copy, box, box.
And the main reason I'm boxing this lap, I could have potentially go one more, is we're going to hit a traffic jam of, you know, running slow behind Sainz. Plus, we're at that point where the Inters are going to really start to struggle. So it makes perfect sense to box this lap. In fact, Sainz might box. No, he hasn't. He's gone around again.
Box.
Oh, Sainz has already stopped. That's why he's there. Okay.
Copy.
That helps.
PT. Copy, copy.
So, have we done enough to stay ahead of Perez? Sargent, probably not. 2.6, that's a decent stop.
Do not cross the line.
It's going to be really tight with Sargent. I think we're going to get there just ahead of him. We do. Excellent stuff. And our tyres are in much better shape. We did not stay ahead of Perez. What's the gap? About 5 seconds. About 4 seconds back to Gasly.
Up 1.1. It will be 17 laps to go.
So Mick is safe. I need to gain another place though with Teo. Ocon still needs to stop. Mick should be able to jump him, because those tyres will not go the distance. Well, actually, I say they won't go the distance. It's possible they might go the distance, but they will be in a horrible state. So let's see. Ocon's doing 134s. Let's see what our pace is. I mean, we should be doing pace similar to Sargent, who's around the mid-30s. We have got cars behind us, though, that might lap us. Actually, no, it's the two Mercedes of Russell and Hamilton. They're going to need to stop again. And there is Hamilton actually into the pits, so Russell might be stopping next lap. So we're close to Ocon stopping, and you can see we've already taken, since I was just talking about Ocon, we've taken 3 seconds out of him. I don't think there's a chance for Porsche to undercut Ocon, but we can certainly get closer to him. Hamilton's going to comfortably feed out in 11th place. But look how close he is to getting lapped. There's Charles Leclerc, who actually might well stop again. Norris is almost certainly going to stop very, very soon. Ocon goes around again. Evening, Harvey. He's about to get lapped by Verstappen, I think. Or no, that's Perez? That can't be Perez. It's got to be Max. Yeah, it is Max. So this is going to blue flag him. There we go. That'll slow him down a little bit. That'll give Mick another couple of seconds gained. Sargent is still lurking behind me, but his tyres are in much worse shape than mine. Porsche is matching Perez and about half a second a lap quicker than Sargent, and we are 9 seconds behind Sargent. It's going to be an interesting end to the Grand Prix, and there is every chance that we might have to consider... Oh yeah, we are absolutely going to have to go on to Inters. So I'm just going to hammer these tyres.
Push, push.
Copy.
We're already well over 5 mil, so we can push these tyres and not worry about them overheating for a while yet. Russell's gearbox just got worse.
That gearbox was a bit weird.
If he retires, Porsche can just stay where he is. But he is closing on Perez and Sargent. Sargent lost a bit of time to us there. We took a huge amount of time out of Ocon. Who still hasn't boxed. And still hasn't boxed, and now there is a chance for Porsche to undercut him. Let's see, the gap is 14.5, 15, 17, 20, it's 25 seconds. It's getting close. It's getting very close to the window where we could actually undercut him. And we're taking 3 seconds a lap out of him with Porsche at the moment. So, yeah, we are very, very close to getting that undercut. I wonder if he's going to try and hang on for the Inters around here. It says 8 minutes here. He can go another 8 minutes on those tyres, but he's going to be slow.
Copy.
Time for me to stretch my legs over Sargent a little bit. Try and close that gap down so that if Ocon doesn't box, I can be right there with him if he's trying to hang on for the Inters. Which I think it's got to be what he's trying to do. I mean, at this point now, it would be kind of suicidal for his race to box for another set of wets. He's got to be hanging out for the Inters. A 136.0 for Ocon. A 134.1 for Mick. Took 2 seconds out of him. Might be overheating the tyres a little bit. Let's just cool those down.
Cool down. Cool down.
Copy.
Wets definitely don't like being pushed too hard. Just let them ease down a bit. They should cool down pretty quickly because of the amount of water on the track. But again, we took a second out of Perez. Into the final 10 laps. Leclerc still hasn't boxed. Nor is Piastri, nor is Norris. And I think Leclerc has just about got a pit stop over his teammate. I'm wondering if the guys who've gone on to new wets are going to try and hang it out to the end on those wets. The guys who haven't boxed are obviously waiting for the inters. And they're going to drop behind those on the new wets, but they should have the pace to then punch through. The same way that we did when we were on inters and the track was at 2.6 mil. It's going to get a lot lower than that in the last lap or two. It'll get to the point where it'll be such a speed difference that anyone who's on wets will just pull over like they're being blue flagged and let someone through. Gap is now down to 10 seconds.
Copy that.
And the track is starting to dry. So we're just going to go full send on the tyres.
Big push now.
Copy.
I don't think it is going to go full dry tyres. I don't think it's going to quite get to slicks, but might get a little toasty for the inters at the very end. I'm very bullish about Mick's chances of actually getting in the top 18 now, but I'm less so about Teo. Just don't know if he's going to have enough pace. Ocon has stayed out another lap. It's still too early to box for inters, but the track is drying. Gap's down to 8.5 seconds. Took another 1.9 out of him on that lap. Porsche. Still matching pace with Perez, still closing by about half a second on Sargent. And also about 1.8 seconds quicker than Ocon. No, 2.8 seconds quicker than Ocon. Really good lap for Teo in comparison. It's going to be a dramatic last 5 laps. Very dramatic last 5 laps. We're going to have an awful lot of ground to make up on those who don't box. But we should have, looking at that prediction, if it goes that way, we should have such a massive amount of speed. We should be closing multiple seconds a lap. And then it's a question of whether we run out of laps or not. Gap down to 6 seconds to Ocon. At this rate, I'm wondering if it's going to dry up in time. It's going to have to plummet any moment now, and then is there going to be enough laps left. Ricciardo's engine gets worse.
Well, yeah, right. It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
Look how close we are now. It took a second out of Perez. He's stuck behind Logan Sargent. No, he's not. He's stuck behind Ricciardo. Ricciardo's doing 1:34.0. Perez is stuck at his pace. And we are going a second a lap quicker. It's still getting drier, but I don't know if it's going to get dry enough quick enough. I don't know whether we can actually justify the box. We might have to just try and tough it out. There might not be enough time to make up. Because we're a lap down, let's not forget. Oh no, look at it, it's plummeting down. Right, we're boxing at the end of this lap.
Now push to box.
It's absolutely plummeting down. And I'm now just a second behind Ocon, whose tyres are hanging on by the barest thread. And we're seeing some movement. Russell and Alonso both into the pits. Leclerc has boxed from the lead.
Gap 07.
Hulkenberg is in as well. There he is, right in front of Leclerc. So, those whose tyres were screwed are boxing because they had to. Is anyone else going to box? This is the question. Sainz has stayed out. He will inherit the lead. But not for long. You can see how quickly the track is drying up. Leclerc is going to go a couple of laps and then absolutely fly past Sainz. Not even going to be close. Mick is in. With Ocon and Albon boxing as well.
Okay.
Pourchaire is in.
Pit lane. Copy.
Ricciardo has stayed out, and that's holding up Perez. Beautiful. That's what we needed to see. It's not a good stop. It's 2.8 seconds. We come out behind Ocon.
Watch out, white line on pit entry.
That's a better stop, 2.5, but it's not quick enough for points. And now it's just about absolutely thrashing these tyres.
Gap 1.4. Seven to go.
Piastri's in.
7 laps to go.
Mick is in 18th. That's where he needs to be. The car he needs to get past is also on those brand new Inters. Sargent is in, and Mick will jump him.
Looking good for me.
Copy.
Let's see if Gasly boxes. Ricciardo is in. He was on really old tyres. Leclerc is all over the back of Sainz. Sainz's tyres are going to be screaming temperature-wise by now. Schumacher's through on Sargent. There is Logan Sargent. And that held us up with him and Ricciardo coming out of the pits. Ricciardo's right behind us. We find a little bit of space and we have so much more grip. And we are past, Gasly. But I needed to get ahead of Logan Sargent and we didn't.
Good job.
Still need to gain one more place. There is a risk that we're going to get blue flagged by Ricciardo, who there he is, right behind us.
Copy.
Five laps to go.
Copy.
Trying to encourage Ricciardo to go through in the hopes that he is going to be quick enough to overhaul Logan Sargent and then for us to try and slide our way through.
1.4 ahead. See what you can do, mate.
But so far, Ricciardo doesn't want to take the bait.
Copy. Copy, copy.
And there you see, Sainz's tyres are on fire. He lost 4.3 seconds to Leclerc on that lap. He's going to be a sitting duck for Oscar Piastri. Max is going to be a sitting duck for Norris. And, no, not Tsunoda. Not in 3 laps. Hamilton is going to be a sitting duck for Russell. And Alonso, I think.
Still a very long way to go.
And still, we haven't been blue flagged.
4 laps to go.
Copy.
Sargent does a 123. We do a 123. Ricciardo does a 124. So we're actually slightly quicker at the moment. But I have to overtake Sargent on track, and that's going to be tricky. It's going to be very tricky. Oh, there we go. There's the blue flag. So now I need Ricciardo to up his pace, and we need to capitalize and be right behind him. Perez still hasn't stopped. Ocon's right there, and Mick is right there as well. So we are going to get at least one more place here. There we go. We're past Perez, up into 16th place. I think even if we can't get past Sargent, we can get past Perez.
Doing a good job. Come on.
Perez did a 129.2. He's going to get blue flagged as well. Before we get to him.
3 laps to go.
Copy.
We have 2 laps left. I don't think we've got any chance of going past Ocon, so we're just going to save the battery. Porsche can't keep up. But Sargent is getting close to being blue flagged, and we are hurtling towards Checo Perez, who lost 5 seconds on that lap. He's right round the corner. There he is. There is Perez at the front of those 3. Look at the water level. He's just going to pull over. It's not even going to be an attempt to overtake. He's just going to pull over and get out of the way. And this is letting us get right up there. There we go. He pulls over and lets those two through. I know, he's only let through one car. And now we can sleek through. That's 18th. That's what we needed. Somehow, by the skin of our teeth, we've managed to get both cars in the top 18. Now, can we get past Logan Sargent? We are half a second behind him.
Copy.
So yeah. Let me have a look.
Copy.
Yeah, so Ricardo did go through. This is it. This is our final lap.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get him.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. And there it is. A win for Charles Leclerc.
It's been a while, but Leclerc retakes the top step of the podium.
All credit to the team for the car they've put together. But without that incredible and consistent driving, it'd all be for nothing.
Ferrari got it right with Leclerc. They got it wrong with Sainz. He's going to finish off the podium in the end. Although he will get the fastest lap as some consolation. He'll get that bonus point. Mick is not going to catch Ocon. Porsche is not going to find a way past Sargent, unfortunately.
Keep me updated on conditions.
And this is probably not going to keep the board particularly happy. The track is now dry, as it's under 1 mil, so DRS is active. Oh, if only it had gone like that at the start of our previous lap, we might have had a chance on Logan. But as it is 16th place for Schumacher. It will be 18th place for Porsche. And by hook or by crook, we will keep the sponsors happy. Maybe not the board, but certainly the sponsors.
Pierre Gasly there, coming back after the checkered flag.
A dismal end. P20 with very little promise, it's got to be said.
And the Monegasque driver certainly proved his worth with a terrific drive today.
Win number 5 is in the bag. They pulled out all the stops, pushing hard to earn that victory.
And as far as those three are concerned, well, they'll be leaving Budapest hungry for more. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was
Probably miffed if they heard that,
their way, but others
cookie
didn't.
cutter
I think their
Christmas
main target now
Christmas
will be
cracker
finding
joke
some
there from
consistency for sure.
Crofty.
And that then marks the end of our time here in Hungary.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps.
And that's going to be another horrible circuit, but for completely different reasons, because that's all about speed, and we have none. So, confirmation then of the final result. It is Leclerc taking his 5th win of the season. Oscar takes 2nd ahead of Lando Norris in 3rd. Sainz down into 4th in the end. Got the fastest lap in the early stretches of the race. But, yeah, definitely didn't work out for him trying to hang it out on those tyres. And they were almost completely gone by the end of the Grand Prix. Max finishes in 5th place ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Ricciardo up to 7th place, despite some pretty significant engine issues in that race. Russell, with a bad gearbox, finishes 8th and a lap down. Then it's 9th for Alonso, 10th for Hamilton. So only 7 cars finished on the lead lap. It is Hulkenberg in 11th place, does not score points, so that keeps us 2 points ahead of Haas. No points for Albon either. Excellent news. That's good. That keeps us ahead of Williams. We're level on points at the moment, 2 apiece. And then it's Stroll from Valtteri. Ocon, Schumacher up 2 places. Sargent down 1. Porsche down 1. Perez down 10 places. That early lockup destroyed any chance of a good finish in his race. He ran wide, dropped to the back of the grid, and he never recovered. Perez finishes, way down the order, and the last runner was Gasly, 2 laps down, and 2 retirements. Zhou Guanyu and Kevin Magnussen both crashing out on turn 5 in almost identical circumstances, both bringing out a VSC. So, in the driver's standings, it is Sainz top from Lando Norris. Charles Leclerc is closing the gap back up, though. Win number 5 has closed the gap into Lando by 10 points and 12 points to Sainz. He sits 11 points behind Lando. He is 25 points behind his teammate. That's a race win. If he can get a few more of those, and he's certainly quick enough to do that, then he can be right back in the title hunt again. Max is now a very distant 4th on 180 points. It looks like it's going to be a 3-way fight between Norris, Sainz and Leclerc for the driver's standings. Oscar, picking up some good points again, is going to be battling with Max for 4th, I think. And then Checo is in danger of being overhauled. He's just a point ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. So I can see Checo dropping down the order. George Russell in 8th, picked up another 4 points today. He is on 64 points now. Ricciardo with another 6 points. Keeps him comfortably ahead of Stroll, who failed to score. Hamilton stays 11th, gains a point. Alonso gains 2 points. They are both level on 24 now in 11th and 12th. Then it's a big gap to Teo in 13th, 14th for Albon, 15th for Bottas, 16th is Hulkenberg, 17th for Schumacher, 18th and 19th for the two Alpine drivers, Ocon ahead of Gasly. Then it's Logan Sargent, Kevin Magnussen and Zhou Guanyu rounding out the standings. In the constructor standings, it is 501 points now for Ferrari. They outscored McLaren by 5, stretching their gap slightly. They are now 110 points clear of McLaren. Red Bull are a further 140 points nearly. 132 points further behind in 3rd place, just 259 points. They're comfortably clear of Red Bull, but once again, Red Bull have outscored, RB have outscored Red Bull by 4 points today. And while I don't think they're going to be catching them before the end of the season, I think the gap is certainly going to continue to shrink if Perez continues to throw in really poor performances like that, and Yuki and Ricciardo continue to have a really good RB, which has been the star of the field, really, in some respects this season. You would expect Ferrari and McLaren and Red Bull to be at the top. You wouldn't expect RB to be in 4th, and by quite a way as well. Mercedes in 5th place on 88 points, are 41 behind. Then it's Aston on 59. We are still in 7th with 2 points ahead of Williams. Sauber have a point. Haas and Alpine bringing up the rear. Did we hang on for a couple of points in the pit stops? No, we did not. We got bumped at the end. We had a 2.46, was it? 2.48 was our quickest stop. Multiple stops. We made 5 stops in total. And yeah, that second stop, almost good enough for points. It did temporarily get us into 9th. And we never got close with Porsche, unfortunately. So in the pit stop challenge, McLaren stay top, but they scored 0 points today. 40 points for Red Bull sees them jump back ahead of Ferrari and close the gap up. They are now 69 points behind McLaren. Ferrari on 184. Alpine have 127. Aston up 2 places into 5th place now on 111 points, 1 ahead of RB and ahead of Mercedes by a point as well. Mercedes down 2 places. Williams on 68. We have 50 points, no points for us today. Coming under pressure from Sauber, they're now just 2 behind us on 48, and Haas still with just 10 points. Both of our drivers do hit that magical 18th or higher that we promised the sponsors, so another 900k added to our bank balance. Let's head back to HQ and start prepping for Spa. So we have our spare suspension now. Sorry, spare side pod, and our suspension research project is done. Let's check the inbox. Post-race data. Please give me some good news, Matt. Did our cars come through unscathed? Yes, they did. Ooh, nice. We have a very bad ERS unit now in Porsche's car, and I don't have the money to replace it. Bit of a shame. Got some scouting results back on Julian Rouse and Andy Stevenson. So he's at neutral. Let's compare him to Aurelian. He's up by a point, up by a point, up by 6, up by 6. So he's a pretty decent improvement. Let's head back to Andy Stevenson. He's also neutral. And we will do a comparison here. He's up by 5, by 1, oof, by 24, and by 7. He's a much better signing. But he's going to be more expensive. How much is he on at the moment? Considerably less. Wow. I knew Pallier's contract was extortionately high, but oh my god. That is ridiculous. 1.5 million more for Aurelian Pallier than Andy Stevenson. Ooh, okay, yeah, we are going to break that contract with Aurelian Pallier. We're going to buy him out. Can't do it yet, though. Unfortunately. I have to wait and hope that no one signs Andy Stevenson in the meantime. There is that spare side pod added to our collection. So let's take a quick look at where we sit with the car. 4 days to go until the chassis project is done. That means we can start building those as we head to Spa. Still got a little way to go on the wings, but that's fine. We've got a new slot opened up here for another research project. Let's see, that front wing spare is 2 days away, as is that suspension. We need to keep a slot earmarked for the new chassis, the Mark III chassis. But what else do we need? Let's see. Don't need wings. Don't need a suspension. A new underfloor. A spare underfloor wouldn't go amiss. Let's start building another underfloor. That leaves me with $1 million to get a research project done. Let's do an underfloor research project. It's not affected by the regulation change next season, so we'll just drop it in as it is. There we go. We're down to just 67k. Let's check in with the board. I'm sure they were miserable. Yeah, disappointed. That's what I was expecting to see. But still high confidence. We just need to keep them high. That sounds really bad. Like we're a dealer, like we're a pusher. Just need to keep them high and distracted and stoned out of their gourd for one more race. As long as we can get back from Spa and they still have high confidence, that's worth $1.5 million. If they drop down to satisfied, our money bonus gets halved to $750. So if we can just hang on for one more Grand Prix, then we will, and keep that high confidence rating, that will serve us quite well. Right, let's take a quick look at facilities for wear rates. Everything's okay in there. We are 3 days away from the team hub, so that's going to be ready just before we go to Spa. That's nice. Race seems fine. Getting a little low in operations on the helipad, but it's still not in danger just yet. So I think all we need to do now is just advance time. There is that spare suspension. There's a spare front wing. So we have a couple of spare front wings now. Oh, Hugh Bird has come back with a counter offer. So he wants an extra little bit there and an extra little bit there. Let's drop that down. A little bit. Push that up a little bit. I'd rather we give him a bigger signing bonus and pay less on the salary. We're only going to add an extra, what, 25 grand? Well, an extra 50 grand. But we're going to save 150 grand a year over 5 seasons. So, you know, it's 50k against 750 grand. So, yeah, it makes more sense to push this up and save the money here. Let's see if he'll accept that. Okay. There is our team hub at level 3. Let's see if that's had a positive impact on our backroom staff. Aurelian's still a miserable bugger. I don't know why he's so miserable given the money he's extorting from me. 2.5 mil a season, that's ridiculous. Matt Harmon still absolutely, you know, chuffed to bits. Really happy with the facilities. Really happy with the facilities. That's excellent news. Dirk de Beer is... where is Dirk de Beer's mentality? He is also really chuffed to bits with the facilities. A little unhappy with the car performance, but he's doing okay otherwise. Still has another year left on his contract. We've already re-signed Matt, I think, haven't we? No, we haven't re-signed him. We haven't needed to because he's still got another 2 years to go. So all good there, and we will be offloading Aurelian as soon as we financially can afford to do so. So let's advance time. The new chassis is ready to go into production, and I don't have any money to start building. Oh, we're gonna have to wait till we get back from Spa. That's a shame. I didn't even think about that, but never mind. They cost what, 500 grand, I think. Yeah, 550. So I am only 500 grand short. You know, it's what's $500,000 between friends. Apparently everything. So let me check that our cars are spec'd up as best they can be. Yes, they are. So far. The ironic thing is, I could probably just about squeeze one in. Well, maybe. I might have just been able to squeeze one of those in had I not done the underfloor. But I think the underfloor is 450. So even if that was the case, we wouldn't be able to afford... Oh, they're 400. So yeah, I wouldn't have been able to afford another one. I can add another one here, and that will put me into debt. But that's because I'm adding to an existing manufacturing queue. I can't create a new manufacturing project if I don't have the funds. So, yeah. Bit of a shame, but there we go. We are kind of done for tonight. Not the greatest race. I always knew it's going to be a difficult one for us, but the most important things were we didn't destroy anything. We've managed to get another research project started. We've got a couple more spares now. We're nicely set up for the mid-season break. We've just got to get through Spa first and hope that we stay in high confidence with the board to get that full 1.5 mil bonus, because we desperately need that money. And we maintained our grip on 7th in the constructors. Williams did not score any points. Haas didn't score any points, so they haven't given us a bit of a bit of pressure there yet either. So all things considered, given the state of our car's performance, I think we did pretty well there. I mean, with the realistic racing mod that we're running, it has definitely made it harder to overtake, and at a circuit like that, and in weather conditions like that, I'm very pleased with how we actually managed to perform. I was worried, very worried at one point that I'd maybe screwed up the strategy a little bit with that switch to inters halfway through, but it paid off in the end, enough for us to be able to stay close where we needed to. And then with those that had tried to stay out on the wets, they were always going to have to box for inters. But those who didn't stay out, those who boxed and went onto a set of wets, I'm so glad that they did, because it gave us that performance edge that we needed to make sure that we could definitely get both cars into the top 18. So it was touch and go with Teo for a while, but I was reasonably confident that we could get Mick home where we needed to. And now we go to Spa, where we face similar challenges, but for a very different reason. It's all about speed, and we do not have any speed at all. We are really slow in a straight line. Our top speed is not good. Not good at all. Our DRS isn't great either. Monza will also be tricky, but less so because of the nature of the circuit. And we will have new parts as well. New chassis, new front wing, new rear wing. So Monza will be hopefully a little more comfortable for us. We'll have to go through Zandvoort before we get to Monza, but assuming we don't destroy all of those new parts at Zandvoort, I'm looking at you, Teo, then we should hopefully be in a decent position to hang in the slipstream and in the DRS train at Monza. Whether we can make any real progress going forward remains to be seen, but at this point, like I said, those 2 points that we got at Monaco are a god. They're a godsend. They're a gift, you know. And if we can hang on long enough, even if we don't score any more points this season, even if we don't get close to scoring points this season, if we can get to the end of the season and maybe we'll lose out to Williams, if we can stay ahead of Sauber, if we can stay ahead of Haas, then Alpine, I think, are an easy team for us to beat. I don't know about Haas. They're knocking on the door of points. Sauber seem to be slipping a little bit. So if we can stay ahead of Sauber and Alpine and finish 9th, we'll settle for that. That's our objective for the season. If we can stay in 8th, that would be even better. It'll be a little bit of extra prize money next year, although conversely a little bit less testing available next season. And we've got our research going through, which reminds me, when's the next ATR period? Let's have a look. Next ATR is coming up right after Spa. No, that's the sponsors and the board assessment. So it must be there. There it is. There are only 2 ATR periods left. We need to do a front wing project with one and a rear wing project with the other. So that's those already spoken for. We'll see if we can keep shipping out little upgrades on the car where we can, but we also have other upgrades, research projects we need to get done as well. One last look at tomorrow's race for the weather. It's going to be dry. Where is the overview? There we go. Stay there. So we're looking at cool temperatures. I think we might try and one-stop it. I don't think we're going to have to pace to pull off a 2-stop. But if we can make the one-stop work and stay close to some cars and try and overcut them, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That'll be tomorrow night's race at the usual time, around 8 p.m. If you have enjoyed tonight's race, then it'd be awesome to drop a thumbs up on the stream. That would be amazing. If you're not yet subscribed, then why not consider subscribing too? And hit that bell for notifications for new videos going live and when live streams begin as well. We have got Construction Sim 3, the console edition on the PS4 on the channel at the moment. That's going to be every couple of days. Episode 3 went live earlier today, so you've had the first 3 episodes back to back. It'll be an episode of the Precinct tomorrow. You'll also get another episode of American Truck Sim tomorrow. And then it'll be Construction Sim again on Wednesday, American Truck on Thursday, Construction Sim on Friday. There might be another episode of the Precinct coming later in the week after that as well. I don't know yet. I might just be one more episode and we're done. And ATS again on Saturday. So there's plenty of videos, queued up and in the works. And I will continue to keep pumping those out for you. So hopefully you'll check those out as well. But if not, I'll be back at the usual time of 8 p.m. for tomorrow night's race. Hopefully I'll see you there. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.